Well, good morning. Walking boxing Sunday, August the 4th, 2024. And it's a little bit early today. It's a little bit brisk, but that's cool. It's just an absolutely beautiful day. I know I seem to be saying that a lot lately, but it really is a beautiful part of the world here in the Macedon Ranges. So just forgive me, I'm a little bit cranky this morning. If you're a football follower, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Collingwood with a 3-point win over Carlton. Three things certain in life at the moment: death, taxes, and Collingwood beating Carlton in, by under a goal. Just seems to be the norm at the moment. I think that's 4 out of 6. The last 6 games they've beaten us by 6 points or less. And they just find a way to let us down, the Blue Boys. I was second on the, I know this is boxing, by the way, but I'm going to just give my 2 cents on this. Second on the ladder, a couple of weeks ago, and by the end of the round, they could be 8th, and to the point where next week they could be out of the 8, with 2 rounds to go, mind you. So, not a very happy chappy today, I can tell you. The blood's still boiling a little bit. Anyway, I'm sure all you Collingwood supporters that are out there will be just loving it at the moment. You're a cosy bunch, aren't you? Especially when McGovern missed. Oh my God. Mitch McGovern marks on the siren, goes back to kick the goal after the siren and puts it out on the full. Anyway, sometimes I hate footy, I can tell you. All right, on to the boxing side of things. Success. We have a medal. Charlie Sr. last night with a 3-2 decision over Carlo Palam from the Philippines, and it was a great win. Now, I think from memory, Carlo Palam was a silver medalist at Tokyo, so an unbelievable performance from Charlie Sr. Now he's into the medals now. He's guaranteed a bronze, so he's into the semis next. And look, it was a really good fight. I thought he fought excellent. The Filipino Palam, that's how you pronounce it, Palam. Yeah, very, very good fighter. I thought he fought smart. It was a really, really even fight. And it was great to actually be on the right side of a really close decision this time. He's got all the skills. He's in, he's out. That typical amateur style with almost like arm fencing. Lead with the left, lead with the right, lead with the left foot, lead with the right foot, in and out, and just fought the classic Olympic style fights, what you have to do. Now, will that translate into pros? I suppose only time will tell, because as I've said a few times in these videos, it's a completely different ball game, different sport. The only thing I'll say though, I'm not a fan of, I've seen it in the past, is that every time you throw a punch, you sort of raise the hand to say, hey, look at me, look at the punch. And I know it's to get the judges' attention. If you're not familiar how this works, it's an age-old trick. I remember there was a great Hungarian boxer, amateur boxer, that was around when I was boxing. His name was Istvan Kovacs. A lot lighter than me, I never fought him, but he did fight Bomber Peden. And he also, no, he didn't fight the Aussies. I thought he might have fought Hussein at the World Championships, but he didn't. I know that Robbie Bomber Peden fought him back in the day, but he would do it every time. He'd throw a punch and raise the hand. Now it's a good tactic, and I'm pretty sure it did sort of work to some extent back in the day, but I think these days sometimes the officials are a little bit cranky these days, not just in boxing, but they seem to be taking a little bit of a stand across a lot of sports at the moment. We saw it earlier in the year with in an AFL game here where the umpire paid this ridiculous free kick because he was a bit pissed off at what some of the Collingwood players were doing during the game and time wasting and everything else. And when he got his opportunity for revenge, he paid the most ridiculous free kick you'll ever see and cost him the game. But anyway, but I just think these days sometimes if you do that, sometimes the judges might not give you the round out of spite. And yes, I know they're not supposed to do those sort of things and not judge you on merit because of spite, but let me tell you, it happens. These guys are only human. They're only human. If they say, look at this hot dog in there, I'm not going to bloody, if it's close, I'm not going to give him the round. I'm going to do the other guy. Let's hope that's not the case. But that's probably the only thing. And look, it's probably, I don't know whether it's something he's seen is he's gone, or maybe he's just had success with it his whole career. But that's probably the only thing I didn't quite like. But yeah, all the best to Charlie. Yeah, as I said, a guaranteed bronze medal now. I'll have to look at the schedule to see who he's fighting. They did say it last night after he fought, but I'll have to recheck that. So yeah, all the best to Charlie in his next fight. And there's always one boxer, isn't there, of the team that probably exceeds expectations and goes further than maybe we might have thought. And at this Olympics, it seems to be Charlie Senior. So go get him, Charlie. Now, the other one, I know we touched on it yesterday, it's now still pretty much old news, is Teramona with that loss to the Uzbekistan fighter, Jalalov. I did watch the fight in full yesterday. I'd only seen the highlights as I was walking Neil here, who just seems to be turning into a statue back there. I don't know. This is why I do the video from this part of the walk. By the way, I go sort of two ways, but there's always a lull. It comes out of the gates really hard or fast, hard to keep up with, and then gets to about the halfway point, and this is what we have. Him just dawdling along, and it gives me a good opportunity to do this. It's a nice stretch of road, not many people around, and I can get this done in peace without chasing him. I've still got to keep an eye on him though, because he's a sneaky little bugger. But yeah, look, I did watch the fight. I know there's a lot of people said that they thought that Teramona won. Let me just say, I thought he fought a great fight, way above his experience level. But I've got to say, I don't think he did enough to win. I know that will not go down well with a lot of the Aussies out there. But look, I just thought the first round, I thought he actually boxed really well for the first part of that first round. I thought he came out really good, fought the exact fight he should have fought, went after Jalalov and really put the pressure on him and didn't allow him to use his long-range boxing, and he's obviously very experienced, Olympic gold medalist, heavyweight gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist, World Championship gold medalist. But I just thought Jalalov in the last probably 30 seconds or 45 seconds landed a couple of nice clean shots. I just didn't see, as good as the pressure was from Teramona, I just didn't see any clean, effective shots land, not one. It was just more of his pressure, where Jalalov, even though he was on the back foot for most of the round and did a little bit of clinching, all the rest of it, I just think he landed 2-3 really sort of precise shots that really would have got the judges' attention. Because you've got to remember, in a close round, the judges are looking for anything to give a particular boxer the round, especially in the amateurs. They can't score rounds even. So I just thought, yeah, Jalalov landed a couple of clean shots, 2, 3, 4 maybe, which would have given him the round. But then the second round was a little bit the opposite. I actually thought Jalalov actually had the better of most of the second round, maybe the first 2 minutes. Then I thought actually Teramona did the opposite. He landed some really good shots. I think there was even a really good right hand on the ropes that got Jalalov's attention. So I actually gave the second round to Teramona in a close round. And then I just thought in the third round though, I just thought he did gas out, which is to be expected. He gave it his all. He's a big fella. Probably not used to, you know, this level of competition and the work rate and everything else, but I just thought Jalalov did more than enough to really pinpoint his punches in the last round. And Teramona, look, as I said, he was great. He went to the final bell and gave it his all. I just thought he just didn't really land anything effective and was getting picked off by Jalalov, who just has a lot more experience. Now this is what I've got to deal with. Neil has decided to do some sightseeing while standing right in the middle of the road. Luckily, it's a very quiet road. So yeah, I thought, look, as great an effort as it was, I just thought Jalalov just did enough. So great effort by Teramona though, and I said it yesterday, I think he will make a very good pro. He's going to be a scary proposition. And the thing is, this is again, while I'll say, while it's funny with the two styles of boxing, is I actually think in the pros that Teramona will probably knock Jalalov out if they fight at some stage, but that's boxing for it. All right, so next one in line, we've only got two fighters left now. Caitlin Parker, she's up against Mardi Khadija of Morocco. So she's on tonight, Australian Eastern time, 7:48 p.m. So all the best to Caitlin if she wins this. she will also be into the medal round. So yeah, after the Olympics is over, I might touch on the whole Olympic campaign and what I think of amateur boxing at the moment. And actually, even as far as the amateur boxing goes, I remember when I was boxing, they changed the name from amateur boxing to Olympic style boxing, which I think is a really good idea, because when you tell people you're an amateur boxer, the first thing that pops into their mind is, oh, okay, well, they mustn't be that good. If you're an amateur, that can't be good. Let me tell you, a lot of the best amateurs in the world would clean house when it comes to some of the pros, I can tell you. But anyway, I still don't think pros should be allowed at Olympics. I'll say that again. All right, so, and I know I've said it yesterday, this whole man versus female thing at the Olympics. I'm not going to go over it too much. I just want to put the full stop on this, because now we're getting a lot of the, I mean, everyone had to say, me included, and I did touch on it yesterday, so again, I won't go over it too much. But I suppose now you've got a lot of people coming out, I told you so, and geez, you people, you all jump to conclusions, and you don't know what you're talking about, and she was born a female, and all this sort of stuff. And look, again, without getting into the argument of it, I just saw a really good video yesterday, and I've been trying to research myself as well as I can on this. And again, I'm not going to dwell on it and go on for the whole video about it, but a real good video I watched yesterday, just for me, put it to bed. And this is a guy who's not either on one side or the other. He's purely a doctor and or scientist, whatever it is, very, very, very well educated in this field. And he just thought he'd put his side of it side of the story on the situation, just so we might be a little bit educated and make an informed decision. And that what he said is that sometimes babies are born, and say it is a male. They don't really check chromosomes at that age, of course, it's a baby, but the sexual organs haven't developed properly and actually looks female. So the male organs can be actually up inside, and so it looks female. So what happens is they have to be diagnosed at birth. So the doctor puts on the birth certificate, well, it looks like a female, has all the attributes of a female with the organs. So the F goes on the birth certificate, and she is raised as a female. Hence why you see all the photos as a child dressed up as a female, identifies as a female, all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. The problem is, of course, is you can't hide what is inside, and in this case it was XY chromosomes, which, and this is not her fault, by the way. This is the thing I probably don't like of the whole thing. It's she is being attacked herself, and I think it was made pretty clear at the start, she's not transgender, which I think is what a lot of people, most people, had the problem with. They thought it was a man pretending to be a woman, hence the outcry. But it's not really her fault that she was raised, well, classified as a female at birth, raised as a female, but all the while had the XY chromosomes going on the inside. So she's probably just as confused as everyone. But that's why, of course, as she's developed as a teen and now as an adult, the physical attributes have come to light, which is why she looks so much like a man, but still obviously identifies as a female. So I probably don't like a lot of things. I don't like the fact that she's been really targeted, thinking with people thinking she's trans, because that's a whole different story. But also I don't like all the people that are saying, yeah, see, I told you so, that you guys you all read too much on the internet and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's, for me, the easiest way to break it down. I did see there's been a lot of people weigh in on the situation. The one that did strike me as interesting, actually, was Sky Nicholson, the WBC featherweight champion, had to say, as she's entitled to do. And I, while I don't necessarily agree with everything, one thing that just did make get my attention is she said that that she has the physical attributes of a woman. I'm not quite sure that's the case, but anyway, I think if anything, her physical attributes are very, very much like a man. But anyway, that's it for that. I'm not going to mention it again, hopefully, and we can move on. So It is fight day here in Melbourne. Well, I'm near Melbourne, but it's in LA, of course. Terence Crawford and Israel Madrimov. Can't wait to get back and watch that. Now, just got one more thing I want to talk about before we go. I've had a lot of messages in regards to Tim Tszyu, what's happening with him, and all I'll say is, look, as far as I know, is that they might be having a little bit of trouble nailing down an opponent. Most of the 154-pound fighters are tied up at the moment. So I've got a feeling that while he wants a big fight, I've got a feeling that he might just have to sit back, wait, maybe take a tune-up, and then wait for the dust to settle with the other 154-pounders, and then he will get his big fight after that. So all eyes on Tim Tszyu. So that's about it for this episode. Hope you have a good day, except for Collingwood supporters, and I'll catch you tomorrow.